You're now listening to Straight from the Horse's Mouth podcast.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You never sell out.
Never sell out.
They can't tempt you with fortunes or fame.
Sometimes you gotta talk that talk to them,
But
Nipsey.
when that right deal, it comes your
Sometimes they can't handle it though.
But you'll remember how to sign your name.
But we don't care.
Now you
Yeah. It's a moment this special. It's what happens. Stay down, the game bless you. It's what happens. Don't fold, the game test you. If you pass it, you gone, they can't catch you. It's permanent. I've been down, I deserve this shit. Rough Rider Rockefeller on my murder shit. Try to threaten me with the fame, ain't concerned with it. Only worry about the green, I'm a herbalist. Even though next level look, still achieving those. 7 digits, mono bitches and arena shows. 100,000 make a transfer cause my visa low. Every week I send a text like that.
Definitely a moment. Welcome to another episode of Straight from the Horse's Mouth podcast. I am 1/3 of your host. You can call me Black. As always, I'm never by myself. And this is a time where you need your partners. To my left, I got Sean P. To my right, I got Lean.
What up, what up?
And as the tagline says, we just three dudes on the couch talking hip-hop, sports, life. Whatever you name it, we talk about it. You can hit us up. If you want to join the conversation, you can always hit us up on our social media platforms. On Facebook, you can hit us up at Horsemouth. On Twitter and Instagram, you can hit us up at SFTHM Podcast. That's SFTHM Podcast. Let's get it in.
Yeah, so y'all know I had to play that.
Yeah.
Y'all know I had to play that,
Definitely.
man.
Definitely.
That's a single that he released in 2017 with Swiss Beats called Bend Down. Crazy.
Shit was epic, man.
And
the intro was epic.
Yeah, man, that's the first song. Like I was late getting put on to Nipsey. And then once I heard that song, then I went back and started getting some of his other stuff after that and started really learning about him from that song. I had heard about because he was actually on the cover, I think of a XXL magazine at one point as like one of the rookies. So I had knew about him from then, but not really his music. So based on everything that happened, it was only right to start the show off with him,
Definitely. You did him well.
My song was Ocean Views that made me start listening to him, man.
That's what's up.
It's just like just an inspirational, I was just imagining myself. The whole video was like me imagining myself doing all the stuff he was doing, man. It just seemed it was limitless possibilities.
Right.
Man.
That's a sign of a true artist. If you can put yourself, if they perform and you can see yourself in them, that's art right
was
there.
Like limitless potential. I just felt like hopeful. Like I really felt inspired by listening to him, man. What's crazy was my boy. I wouldn't even put him out here like this, but Justin was like calling me crying about the whole thing, man. Wow. He said it as well. I wouldn't put him out unless he said it, but like he was talking about how like he called me, Justin or whatever. Like so, it was just talking about like how much impact he really had. Cause like he had like I would even feel like he had like the motivational thing. I think struck everybody, man. Right. It's crazy that we just lost such a influential person again. And like now I see myself going through his catalog, like you said, and just loving the music. And I just and I think about the whole thing when people die. They talking about give me my flowers when I'm alive. And I guess he kind of got his flowers because that whole $100 mixtape thing. You think he sold like 100 copies for $100 or maybe 1,000 copies for $100? So that's. Yeah, he was living his dream, man.
Yeah, I got to watch. I remember watching I forget what it was on. It was YouTube, but it was when him talking about his store, the Marathon, and then how he had bought like some other stores next door, and they was kind of walking him through, and it was really just talking about like business stuff. And I remember listening to that, and that was a while back where I heard that, and I remember that's when I was just like, oh wow, this brother.
Right.
He's doing it. A lot of people do it when they got the money. Right. He was doing it like as he was building. He was doing it. It wasn't like I gotta have a certain amount of fame to then open up.
Yeah. Right.
He was doing
he was taking people along on his journey.
Right.
And that's a special person.
Right.
There.
Right. and then after, like, there was some stuff I didn't even know he did. Like I know he was doing some real estate, trying to open up some like buildings for low income.
He started a STEM program for Black and Brown youth,
Which is crazy.
One of the coolest things I went doing the research on him, and one of the coolest things that I found out was he was part of this program. He played an integral part in this program called Destination Crenshaw, and it's described as like a 1.3 mile open air museum. It's designated to like LA culture and music and art, and that sort of reminds me of the type of person he is when I listen to his music. And it always gets me when people say hip hop is not art. You can hear the art in his lyrics. You can hear the art in the artistry in his music. Yeah. So he's definitely going to leave not only a hole in hip hop, but a hole in the culture. In this country as well.
Yeah. And I know I was looking at the news. They was talking about how the couple of gangs, they had a truce while they was doing like a memorial to him. And then the first thing I thought, and I think we was talking about this when we was in the pre-production meeting, why can't this be like, instead of this being like that a moment, why not make this a movement? Yeah. Where you could continue that. If you could do it for one day, you could do it for a second. You could do it for a third. You could do it for a fourth. You know what I'm saying? Like, Black, like when you was quitting smoking, right? One day at a time, right? You don't do it. So why not like really take this and really like that would be a legacy to leave, to say, this tragedy ended up saving how many lives, how many Black, because really they're killing each other. We're killing each other when we're doing that. How many of us could be saved if this turns into a movement? So that was my thought when I heard that.
Definitely. I mean, he definitely was putting in work in LA. In fact, this police chief tweeted out that he was actually in the beginning stages of addressing gun violence with the LAPD.
Next day or something like that.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. It's disheartening when you see a young brother on the verge of doing something and just to get struck down over some nonsense.
Yeah. I guess that makes go ahead.
I was gonna say the funny thing is, like, regardless of who it is, and this might happen in other cultures, but I know as far as like, me being a person of color, like when something happens to a person of color that was doing something, it feels like something happened to someone in your family.
And
you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I was shocked when I heard, like, you know what I mean?
It hurt. It hurt for real.
Like, man, like we feel it. You know what I mean? And it's like,
the reason why I think that is, right? And I could be wrong, but it's just so few of us that make it. You know what I mean? It's not that many of us that make it. And what we do, you know what I'm saying?
There's a sense of pride.
Yes, it's a sense
There's
of pride.
Sense of,
a sense of community.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of the pressure of all the people who have made it and how much they have to carry their entire race on their back.
And see, for me, I think I kind of feel like that as well. But it's also, I look at the person like, could I hang with this person? Could I associate? Would I want to be around this person? And he seemed like the type of person I would like to be around or be inspired by. It's not because like some people I just don't associate with that are successful, but it's like that his vibe, the energy he gave off was just like a really positive vibe, and that's the kind of stuff that I gravitate towards, is like positive energy, and that's what I feel like that's what he gave out,
Yeah, definitely. We also learned through this whole ordeal. I mean, first of all, I know in production meeting we were talking about this, and I'm gonna try to pull up that quote, and I want to get you brothers' opinion on this. It's something that Dr. Boyce Watkins said. He was like, the definition of hate crime should include black-on-black crime too. The murder of Nipsey Hussle shows that some of our own people can hate us just as much as the KKK. And I just wanted to get y'all opinion on that, man.
I think that's extremely oversimplified. Yeah,
Extremely.
yeah. Like I mean, he's saying like black on black violence is like a hate crime. Like we're not singling each other out because we don't like the way you look or because you are black. You the closest thing to me, man. You know, I'm in interaction with you. You took my sandwich. I was gonna eat that. You know, that's why I'm mad at you. So that's it. Ain't. I don't think it's a black on black violence when it's black on. Or I think when it's black on black violence, I don't think it's a hate crime. It's a crime of convenience.
Yeah.
More so,
Yeah.
like who's
It's
around
proximity.
you. Yeah, who's around you. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, I would never compare black on black crime to what the KKK,
Right.
Yeah.
has done.
Yeah,
I do think it's about,
they're terrorists,
Right.
and people are just.
and I do think it's about like, I think it's about proximity, but I also think sometimes it's just about like, something happened, you make the decision and you just do it spontaneous as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna plot and I'm gonna do it 2 days later. I'm gonna do this.
Suppress this whole
Right.
block right here by burning
when we're
crosses.
doing it when we do it to ourselves.
Or it's something that's systemic.
It's hurtful. It's more hurtful to me when a black man kills a black man
Because it's like
just
family.
right? It's like, yo, don't we have enough against us than for me to have to look over my shoulder for you?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to. Even if we have a problem, we should be able to handle our problem, however that's going to be, without one of us dying and really two of us losing our life because you're probably going to get life in prison. Meanwhile, my kids, your kids are now not going to have fathers. How many other people are going to suffer? Because it's not just you got family, you got anybody that he was helping out.
Yeah.
Anybody that he was employing, like, you affect the economy in that area when you do something like that. You know what I'm saying? And not just for him, but for any, we kill each other with any of us. So it does feel a little bit more like
It stings.
When we do it to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. It stings because it's as I keep saying this, it's so few of us. And it's so few of us in general, but it's even fewer of us that have an opportunity to give back in a significant way, right? And you take that away from people that's trying to lift, or there are very few of us that have an opportunity to give back where they can lift other people up, right? And you take that away. So yes, that when we perpetrate violence against each other, it really stings.
But I also think about like how it's kind of like survival and like tribal, like almost like if you think about in Africa, I'm pretty sure it was black on black violence because I see this land over here has more, more resources than the land that we're on. So our resources about to run out, so we need to go ahead and take over this thing, and that's kind of like the whole
But that's more about. But that's about like. So like that's to me that's different, right? Like
how so?
I got my family over here and my water's running out and I need water to protect my family. I'm gonna go and take it from whoever's next door, right? It's different between saying, yo,
but it's
like and let's just go back to Nipsey Hussle murder. Like it ain't like he did it and then was gonna benefit in any way from it other than him going. This is not about you eating. It's not about you getting food or this is about just pure, whatever it was, hatred, whatever, whatever it was.
Correct.
So I think that's correct. So I think that's just different in that scenario.
Correct.
Also, it's not only exclusive to just black people.
Right.
I mean, that's more of a human trait that you got to survive. And even what this gentleman did, Mr. Holder, even what he allegedly did, I have to say allegedly because we are a media show, whether we think it or not. I ain't trying to get sued because I ain't.
He did it. I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
Views expressed. No, but even I don't know how to describe it. I'm honestly at a loss for words because, you do the research on this on Nipsey and you just see untapped potential and what he was about to do.
Right.
But he
And
also did
that
some
stings.
stuff too, though.
Huh?
I think he also did some stuff too, and I feel like
Yeah, he did a lot of shit.
Yeah,
What he did and what he was about to do.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Eric Holder is the gentleman that shot him. Let's not to be confused with Obama's former Attorney General. It wasn't him.
yeah.
And I think we was talking about this yesterday, where I asked y'all, like, what is really worth taking somebody's life?
Yeah.
Like when you really, really think about it, it's probably only a handful of things that really like remove this person from the face of the earth.
Right. He got to go.
Forever.
Right.
Like,
Gotta go.
there's not that many reasons, and it often feels like, and I'm talking about not just black, just everybody. Like the reason why people are getting murdered are like for like the
Trivial, stupid shit.
I just saw
Cut
in the
me off.
news. Yeah, I just saw in the news that a family, and where they're from is escaping me, but apparently the family, maybe cut the guy off. He followed them all the way home, and when they pulled up in front of their house, he drove by in an SUV and shot.
And a
then
10-year-old
a 10-year-old girl got killed. Now I'm like, is that worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like, and really to shoot into a car randomly is crazy, but
Over somebody cutting
over
you
someone
off.
cutting you off. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
That's something I don't get too. I mean, and I'm sort of glad I don't get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think for me, the biggest thing for me is I don't know how. What scares me the most is I don't know how I'm going to react if I'm ever put in that position of like having to hurt I ain't even gonna say hurt someone. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it here. Having to kill somebody.
Right.
I don't know how I'm gonna react, and I can react two ways, and they both fucked up for me. Right? I can react like nothing happened, and I have to live with the fact that I didn't do anything, or I can react and I do something, and I still have to live with the fact that I took somebody's life.
Right. And I think it's different
That shit is hard.
if you're doing it in a mode of protection, you're trying to protect your family or whatever, and it happens.
Yeah.
I think that's different also than you going out here doing something to someone. Maybe you do get away with it, but now you have to live with the fact that you did it for the most minute reason.
And just to be clear,
what
I'm talking
saying?
about protecting my family.
Right.
That scares me because I don't know how I'm going to react.
Right.
And that scares me the most.
And then protecting your family it still might mean that you be removed from your family.
Yeah.
Like
You
the
know what I'm
dude
saying?
from Florida. Remember the white dude that was harassing his wife while he was in the store?
Well, he was in the store,
Yeah, like he lost his life standing up for his wife. I get it. And we think that the dude is the dude that shot him is wrong, but yeah, I get the fact that you're gonna that's anybody. That's what makes it so scary because that's me. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have to even think about that. I mean, I've been in situations, you're in the car, you're doing it. It's like, is it worth it? Like, is it really worth it? Especially being older, being wiser.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, now you really have to think, what this person
Where am I
got?
going?
What this
And-
person doing?
Yeah.
What's going to be the outcome
Is
of
it
this?
wor-
And
yeah.
is it worth me even
Is it
engaging
worth-
in this situation?
It's 5 minutes. I work with people, and I say, don't let 5 minutes or 5 seconds get you 5 years or 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a decision you make over like not being able to pass somebody because they cut you off, that's going to cut off 5 seconds or 5 minutes? You going to let that?
When keeping it real goes wrong?
Yeah, you going to let that take
Because
away
if you keeping it real, you could punch someone in the jaw, they fall, hit their head, they
That's
die.
it.
Now
That's
what?
involuntary
That's it.
manslaughter. You
Yeah.
still
And
go on
that's the-
for 8
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the stuff you think about when you get older. When you're like in your 20s, you
Yeah.
hit a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
for
really,
looking at you
your
wrong.
threshold does like 'cause, like you get more patience as you get older.
And you got to think about you got a lot more shit to lose.
You got more shit to lose.
children.
I think that's what it is. You start having stuff to lose.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
And I think also I had more experiences that which makes you get forgiveful, like it makes you forgiving of others, man. Like you done had more experiences where you done been speeding and you know, or you've been doing something that you know, like that you would complain about, but you know, because you've done it, you're like, okay, well, this person just having a day. They must be running late. Let me just go and let them go by, as opposed to, you know, oh my God, let me hurry up and I ain't gonna let these people over.
But we only
So we watching the tournament and it was on pause. So that's what y'all just heard.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You getting the real right here. You getting the real. You getting the real, the flaws. You know what I'm saying?
Flaws and all. But we was talking about that last week. We was talking about, I just leave. I told them to leave my junk on pause. And we was talking about how to start playing again. That's what just happened.
So I mean, you know, that's what. But back to the whole Nipsey thing. That's what Eric Holder is facing. You know, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if he was thinking at all. I don't think he got to the point where he felt like he had more to lose.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you know what always is curious to me. Like we never a lot of times when something like this happens, we don't really get to hear from the person who did it. Like, you know, and I watch a lot of
know why.
like forensic files and all that stuff. And I'm always like, when someone does something I always want to be like, because like, how could you like solve it or begin to really like think about it? Like, what goes on in somebody's mind at that moment? Like, you know, that just fascinates me, and that's why I watch a lot of that stuff. But you never get to hear from like the person who did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what
I
happened?
feel like what happens, I feel like we got the imagery in the movies, we got the imagery in the music. You know, we also like, he's living the Crip lifestyle, so we talk about smoking people every day, so it ain't no big deal. Like when I really, you know, I carry my gun just in case I got to smoke a nigga, and then therefore the opportunity presents itself. And there we go. We're just gonna play out what we done played in our head.
You almost can't back down.
Yeah, because we done played it off in our head
That shit
over
is
and over
toxic.
again.
Right.
Yeah, like whatever I'm thinking, I'm gonna do. Because I think that's kind of like, if I recall from my younger years, that's what it was.
Yeah,
like,
even when I get that shit.
Whatever
even
you
when I
played
didn't
in your
think it was
head.
a right idea, I was like, you know what? I'm going to
smash this window,
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
It's like,
You
nah,
do
I ain't
it.
gonna smash it, and you wind up smashing it anyway.
Man, whatever the little voice in my head would say, it would get done, and that's the voice got
But what's
quiet.
crazy
when I got
is that we keep talking about like, when we was young. Like,
Yeah.
this is a grown man though.
Yeah,
He 33. How old is Eric Holder though? Eric Holder might be 27, but also, where are they developmentally? You know what I'm saying? Like we're assuming you 33, but you gonna act like you 33. You might be 33 acting like you 23.
Well, one
Which is
thing-
the same thing we dealing with.
Yeah, one thing, he's definitely gonna get tried as an adult, and, and you know,
His family gonna get tried too.
our boy is back he's trying to get back in the limelight. Christopher Darden.
Look like he took a shower this time.
He
The OJ
shaved
trial,
himself.
like he ain't never take no showers. Like he just showed up. Like, what? We got a trial?
He's, in fact, some people may say he the person that got OJ off more than Johnny Cochran did with the, you know what I'm saying, put the gloves on.
Right, and he's back. It's
he's
just
back.
funny that this is the case
That brings him
he
back.
I mean, I'm assuming he's been out there being a defense attorney for some time now. But this one, like the guys on tape and you know, there's witnesses. Like this, the one that
I'm
you
about to
cut-
show
like,
y'all.
This is the one that you come back on.
Damn.
You know, to get in the public eye. Like, is this the case that you really want to take as a defense?
And I get it. I get it. You know, he's a lawyer, and I'm sure lawyer culture, and the way this country is set up, that you're entitled to defense, but you still had a choice. You did not have to seek that man out and decide to be that man's counsel.
Yeah.
Defense
It
attorney.
seemed like you look for him.
Yeah.
He didn't look for you.
So
you look for him.
I gotta question what your real intentions are. Are you trying to get famous again off of Nipsey's death?
I mean,
I got to question that.
Whatever, man. Everybody out here, we out here right now trying to figure out how to make money for this podcast. That's what he's
more
doing.
than likely, like what they say, 95% of cases like get pleaded out. So with this, they come out and they say not guilty, and all of a sudden,
right.
They start showing the film, they start telling them everything, and all of a sudden he's agreeing. You know what I mean? So,
and fortunately for him, they canceled it. They just got rid of the death penalty in California. So, not fortunate for him, but
Yeah, man.
Kodak Black, man. Speaking of opportunists, bro.
Yo,
Kodak Black. What is he thinking?
What's gonna happen is he gonna get smacked. That's the hood rule. It's
tell
gonna happen.
Tell everybody what he said.
He said he gonna give Laura London a year before he try to holler at her. This dude, obviously,
and in the meantime, she got a shoulder to cry on, and so basically, you think he's gonna slow cook the booty?
He got way too much confidence, for real, Kodak. Chill out.
Also, that was just like that's just really classless. So like on a serious note, like this woman just lost her partner.
Yes,
dog.
The father of her children.
Right.
And you gonna say something within 7 days of the death.
That's just why you gonna get smacked.
I don't even think the dude's been buried yet.
He gonna be smacked.
That's crazy. And who responded back?
And again,
T.I.
was like, I'm gonna tell you this in front. You out of pocket, nigga.
T.I. stand up dude, man. That's why I appreciate how you even handled that jump with Floyd. You would have got your behind whooped, but I get it.
But I'm glad that somebody stood up and said something.
Yeah.
You gotta talk,
because you got a lot of motherfuckers that in hip hop. I hate to say it, but you got a lot of motherfuckers that don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah. And then what it is also, it's still the drugs, man. He out there high as hell,
Kodak.
smoking and feeling himself. Because when you get money, man, you feel like you untouchable. And everybody in that
nigga about to get touched.
But that's what I'm saying. He gonna get smacked because I don't think he need to be shot. I don't think he need
of course,
to be
that doesn't deserve a death penalty.
But
yeah,
I think the hood rules apply, and you must be smacked at least.
Open hand.
We
talking about a mid-level, not even a mid-level. He's probably like a C-level.
You know the power of your voice, man.
Yeah, a C-level rapper.
Yeah,
trying to gain prosperity off of the gentleman's
I think
passing.
he was just high. I don't even think he was trying to gain no prosperity. I think he was just high talking trash. And you young, man. You young. You don't care, man. You got your testosterone. He got high. His testosterone levels probably done boosted. He talking that big junk because Laura London is pretty. And
but
that's
also,
why I'm trying to get at him.
P, you gonna try to shoot your shot?
He got 8 million followers.
Yeah, that's irresponsible.
So you know what I'm saying. So like, someone that we may think back in the day when we was really like, in the heyday of hip hop, we wouldn't have gave him the time of day. But in this day and age, this man got 8 million, right? And right, but saying something like that is irresponsible when you have that many people because you don't know who else is gonna like fall into that and start commenting on that, and doing other dumbness. So you do have a little bit of responsibility. Just like if anybody in your family die, you'll get that person time, regardless of who it is. I don't care if it's a friend of a friend,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You don't do something like that, or you don't say something like that.
Came across. He's saying he's willing to give her a year before hollering, right? like that nigga got a choice.
Right.
Like she like, oh, thank God for you giving me a year.
364 more days, and I'm gonna think about Kodak.
That's the danger of social media is that people, if they think something and they sit in, you could be sitting in the house watching basketball, or something happened, you just get on Twitter and just say it, as opposed to thinking or someone being like, chill out.
And if
that's the danger.
You say it don't really matter. But Kodak Black said 8 million, it does matter.
Yeah, definitely.
And
go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say we all done did ignorant. I blame that on youth, man. Kodak Black. I don't know how old he is. I know it's cold and all that other stuff, but still, man, I feel like he's
21.
He's 21?
He's 21.
Well,
his brain ain't even finished developing yet.
Come on, man. That's testosterone on top of drugs.
But I'm happy that there was no Twitter, that there was no Instagram when I was 21.
Yeah.
Like if I had to make a mistake, it was a phone call, and me and the person know, and they hung up on me, and that was that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's as far as it went.
Yeah.
So
I called a family friend one night about 2:00, accidentally, like, yo, what's up? What you got going? What's going on? Trying to like
a family friend.
yes.
A family friend.
And had her name confused with like somebody I had just met. So I'm calling her on the late night, leaving the club, like, yo, what's up? She's like, Sean? I was like, yeah, what's going on? I'm trying to come over there. She was like, this is, yeah, and no, yeah. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Yeah,
I see you in church, nigga.
Yeah. I don't know where that story came from.
How old was you?
I was 23.
Let me find out you trying to get with Sister Hattie Mae
I
Jenkins.
wasn't, man, but like.
So I got a funny story. I was young. I was in junior high school. My man, we was all outside. We was like, all right, so we all gonna go to a girl's house that we like. We gonna ask them out. So I went to the girl's house. I was like maybe 13, 14, knocking the door like, hey, you wanna go to the movie? Slammed the door in my face. Bomb. No. But it's just me. She lived on the first floor in this in another project building. So it's just me, the old lady that was waiting for the elevator, and her that know about that.
So the old lady saw it too?
It's crazy. Huh?
The old lady saw it?
saw
Or she laughed?
Just like,
Dang. I don't know where them stories came from.
that's
but
from the Twitter. That's us, you know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
being
our
young and
version.
wild.
That's our version of the Kodak Black.
Yeah.
They said we ain't have 8 million followers.
Right,
Definitely,
exactly.
definitely. Shoot, man. But what do y'all think about somebody, talking to, like, somebody just passed away, or not even passed away, you just broke up with your man just broke up with their girl. How y'all feel about that? And dudes trying to holler.
That's trying to get someone when they vulnerable.
Yeah. Nah.
Let me be that friend to you, and let me do that. Like that's.
I think all of us know a person that do some shit like that.
Yeah, I could think of somebody. I could think of somebody that would do it.
Really?
When I was younger, I don't know. I feel like when I was younger,
You shot your shot.
I would be available. Unfortunately, it would just be like, I wouldn't be going after nobody, man. But
it was like,
if
If it happened, it happened.
I could be like, for real?
That's crazy.
Nah.
I'm about to come over there and we can talk about it. You want something?
Nah, I mean, I couldn't see myself. I couldn't see myself doing that if somebody's vulnerable. Now, yeah. I mean, I
done grew out of it though.
Even when I was 20, I mean, and I guess the reason why is because I probably didn't have the opportunity. So I don't know how I would have reacted, but I would like to think I wouldn't do no shit like that. I definitely know I wouldn't do no shit like that now.
Oh yeah, not now.
But when I was young, I always had that code. Like my people's women like off limits, like. Oh, even a friend of a friend, like if we was cool enough, it was just off limit. Like that just ain't in my makeup. Like
I know some people.
You know
most of my friends are like loyal to a fault. I just hey, I was younger, man. Hey,
and I have to say I don't know because I have never been put in that opportunity. I mean, when I was young. Now in my late 20s and all the way up to now. I was definitely put in that opportunity, and I stayed away from it.
So he say,
no,
online. I stayed away from it online.
Nah. I mean,
I'm messing with you, man. Yeah. Because I feel like when you're older, man, you got more control. That's the beauty of being older, man. Like I would not trade. I wouldn't trade youth for wisdom any day. Though I take my wisdom. Of course, I love the craziness of youth and just being out there and just wanting to be wild, but wisdom. It's
gonna be a time like in your mid 40s, early 50s, where you still got relatively youth and got that wisdom at the same time.
Yeah. I prefer wisdom. Wisdom got that control. That's when you got control over yourself, control over your actions. Because when you're young, man, you at the mercy of your testosterone. How much testosterone you got going through your body is what you're going to be going on. what you doing.
Uh-huh.
I really do feel like that, man. Like testosterone is a hell of a that might be more powerful than cocaine, man. I'm so glad that it ain't flowing through my body as much as it used to. Yeah. It's still flowing through it. Now,
I was about to say, bro, what are you at?
I think I'm at a normal level now, man. I think I'm at a normal level now, but before I think I had.
Bro, you are not 80. You're
that's why I say I'm
70.
at a normal level. I think before I was at an abnormal level, man.
I don't know if it's testosterone that. I mean, don't get me wrong, testosterone dictates a lot, but I think it's brain development that makes you impulsive and shit like that.
I guess I
mean, if I remember my early childhood development. But I don't want to turn this into like a motherfucking clinical session, right?
Khalid disengaging y'all. I can see
know,
it. Like, hold on. He done dropped his mic more like, all right.
Hey, Khalid, you want to see a deadlift?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
No, it ain't that. I mean, it's just the listening. I think that I've always had a level of it was obviously testosterone on level stuff, but I don't know whether it was growing up in New York, growing up there. Like I always had a level of control over myself. I mean, I did some dumbness. You know what I'm saying? But I never felt like I was out of control.
Right.
Like I don't think I had the luxury to be out of control because of where I grew
up.
Exactly.
Right.
And I was going to say that too.
I couldn't.
None of us had. I mean, because if we got out of control, let's be honest, we would not be sitting at this table now.
Correct. Out of control, yes.
Yeah. So it was like we really did not do anything that we couldn't come back from.
Right. Make some bad decisions, obviously, when it comes to like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, because there are numerous factors. If we make some bad decisions, sometimes we don't have the luxury, as to use the word you lose, to come back from that. And it's not anything that we're not. It has nothing to do with who we are as people. It's our society that let people that look like us come back from that.
What I'll say is how I feel like you're different, though, because I feel like you said a couple of weeks ago you were talking about how your mom would let you stay. I don't know if that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
How your mom would let you stay out at 14. And I feel like, my mom would know better than that, man. I tried to sneak out the house at 16. Because that's the whole opposite direction. It's like, I wasn't ready for that. And I think also because, like, the consequences, you've been out there. Like, it was different consequences. We had different, like, ways of life, man. So I think it's, I wasn't ready to be.
Yeah, I was out there. I used to hang out.
I think there's
I got a certain level of trust from my mom's, but I had to earn it and I had to keep it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was always able, like, and I did dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my dirt never came back home.
It was within the boundaries of your.
You know what I'm saying? But being out and being out with older heads and going to college and doing this right.
How to move.
So by the time I was 18 and 19. Yeah, I'm at the point I'm having a good time, but kind of I've been there too, though.
Right.
So it ain't like
Exactly.
I'm walking and my eyes is popping out my head.
And that was
been
me.
there before.
And I don't want to never leave. I ain't gonna call home and get in trouble because I ain't even supposed to be here. My mom would have a foot, so I'm gonna just stay here till a little too late. Go home, get in trouble. Yeah.
Let me ask you fellas a question, because I want to know if this is certain, like a rite of passage. When my grandfather was still alive and he was raising me, I think I was about 14. Mm-hmm. Is it a rite of passage that every dude stay out all night? No, it's not.
I never stayed out all night.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you wanna? We used to call it breaking night.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do it at 14 though.
Oh.
Well, no. Well, actually, I did, but I had my mom's permission because I was like,
I ain't had
here,
permission.
I'm here. No, if I didn't come home and my mom's thing, like, I don't know if I'd be here with y'all.
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
If I
ain't
just
never going out
come
again. I've
home,
still been at home. You can't
Right.
go out.
Like,
I'm gonna tell you.
So, but I called my mom and said, "Hey, I'm down here. I'm with so and so. We'll be home in the morning." She was like, "All right, just make sure."
Hell no.
So I didn't get my grandfather's permission. So I was still one of those kids at 14. This was like a couple of years before he passed away, right? And my cousin came over, and this is back in D.C. when it was popping, right?
H2O.
It was popping. And, I'm 14, hormones going. And, you know what I'm saying? Like that year, I went from like I went from 4'11" to like 5'6" in the summer. Yeah. So I was feeling myself and my voice was changing.
How y'all doing?
And my cousin was like, "Yo, Tony, come with me." I was like, "Where we going?" It's like first we gonna open some doors. Open the gates and have some dogs chasers. That's kid shit. I'm like, okay, let's do that.
Hell no.
And then we get down 14th Street. Let me tell you about 14th Street in D.C. Huh?
That's where the hookers at, ain't it?
Say it one more time.
The hookers.
Exactly. 14-year-old me started off letting dogs out, had me chasing, and I'm in the alley and I see
Leave me over here with the hookers.
I see a lady practicing her craft in the alley, and we just peep it, right? Mm-hmm. And we did that all night.
Yeah, that would have been me.
All night.
Hey, I don't need to go nowhere.
I'm having fun. I'm looking at ass. I'm looking at bikinis.
That's all I need to do.
This was summer. Not even summertime. Yeah, it was summertime DC.
That's all I would need to do at 14.
And then the birds start
and
chirping.
then all of a sudden, I saw the birds chirping.
You hear that first
And I
chirp?
looked up. I was like, oh,
it ain't
shit.
all the way. Yeah. You be like,
That's that
mind
5:36 in the morning.
Mind you, earlier that year, I was 4'11". I got my ass whooped for pretty much everything I did that was bad.
right.
At 5'6" me at 14.
They're like, nah, we're gonna have to put this movie on time.
Yeah, it was like,
ain't gonna work.
I thought I was gonna get the worst ass whooping in my life, but it seemed like my grandfather just gave me this look, and I went into my room, and it was like nothing was said about it. And I think he thought, or I think he may have thought
He
that
became a man last night.
that was like a rite of passage. At some point,
He became a man.
a young man is going to stay out all night for whatever reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That shit was.
Yeah. No, I never had that rite of passage. They put me on lockdown, man.
Shout out to my cousin Lamont, by
Yeah,
the way,
Lamont.
for showing me ass and titties.
Yeah. My people had me on lockdown, man. My curfew went down every year, man. My freshman year, I think my curfew was 1 o'clock. Sophomore year, 12:30. 11th grade year, 12 o'clock. Senior year, I was 11:30. My curfew, man, it went down every year, man.
But
My
can I just
senior
say-
year, it was like I was adult. Like I
Oh, yeah,
just
the
did what
second
I
half.
wanted to do.
The second half, she was like,
What,
well, you going to be
senior
in
year in
college
high
next
school?
year.
Yes, by
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah,
like,
by that time,
second half.
I was taking I was going to school half a day. And
yeah, it was like do whatever.
Yeah.
Like
You
I
know,
wasn't really monitored.
people telling
at
you
all.
to be here at a certain time. You're
Right.
like, what you gonna do? Kick me out?
right. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit.
She got on
Second
board.
year of high school. Last year of high school was fun as shit.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
Well, how much time we got on the
How
clock?
much time we got on the clock?
I feel like
We got,
we
we got a little bit of time.
Let's
got
go.
a little bit of time.
We got a little bit of
Goddamn.
time.
Like, goddamn.
What we gonna talk about
Goddamn.
next?
Goddamn. We got a lot.
In our next segment,
In our next segment.
we'd like to introduce.
So how you liking how's things going on with Hayes?
Man, hey.
Yeah, we ain't even do the house.
Oh, yeah,
week.
we
Yeah,
got to check
yeah.
in,
No,
man.
we doing it opposite.
How's
Yeah.
your week? Let's start. You fellas ever had a week where just every little thing happened and it wind up costing you money?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So check this out. It started off on Monday, right? And so Marcy goes to the post office and get, money, her half of the rent. Like, okay. She go get her half of the rent. Now, fortunately for her, she signs that joint, but she winds up losing it. She winds up losing her half of the rent, right? Quote unquote, half of the rent. So I wind up having to pay that. So that's Monday. Tuesday, I'm doing outreach on 16th Street, and my car get towed.
That
So I wind
sucks.
up having to pay another $250.
That sucks.
Right? I think I told you about how I owed Kaiser, how my credit score went down because I had a collection on my joint. And if you don't know me, they would tell you I'm obsessed with having a credit score with my credit
Look
score.
at his
right?
credit every week.
So I wind up paying another $300 for a doctor's office bill, right? But the good news is I figured like all that shit was a test. Because the good news is I just completed my evaluation at my job. I got my merit increase.
Okay.
I got my merit increase on Thursday. And then they sent us another email saying, hey, your division, your department y'all all getting raises and stuff like that, like cost of living raises and stuff like that. So
Like God is good.
God is
Always
good.
come through.
Came through, but I swear to God that week started off like some shit. That's how my week was.
Man, my week I felt mad productive. Mad productive. I think because my stress level is down. I'm back home.
Yeah, it's a
but
beautiful
started
home
off-
too. I mean, it
Thank
smelled
you.
good in here.
You know,
You know what I'm saying? It smell. I mean, you come in this joint, it always smell like cookies and bacon.
Cooking, yeah. Comforting.
You know what I'm saying?
nah. I started off
Leave the
last
white
week
people house.
going to Well, I was putting up. I've been putting up. Last week I put up a bunch of blinds in the living room, upstairs.
You don't
So
want to live
that's
like
gonna continue.
the clear people
Y'all
live?
see the boxes right there. Yeah, we can't
Yeah.
have this all.
Oh, they
open
love
like
it.
That.
I
You
know
know,
people that live like that.
I mean, he got
Clear people.
TVs that come unpause and pause in the middle of a show.
But I've been working to get this house because we got Lincoln's birthday next weekend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just trying to do certain stuff. So I've been working
Turn
that.
out.
But then at work, I had like this is the time for like a bunch of new contracts. So it's about reviewing budgets, reviewing contracts. I got
Make you do work at work?
evaluations.
Oh, heck no.
The good thing is that by Friday, and this is like in the first week of the month, we have to do like the financials for the department. I have to send that in. So basically Monday, like I started off just sitting drinking coffee, like how I'm gonna do all this? Like I got mad stuff to do.
I'ma
So
do
it's
all
almost
this.
like I
I'ma
didn't
do this.
do anything. It's like 10:30. I said, let me just think because I got a lot. And sometimes when I have so much to do, I just have to pause and really think it through. So I just took a pause, closed my door, chilled, and then I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. So by Friday, close of business, I had done everything I needed to do and to take nothing home on the weekend. So I felt mad productive last week.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's what's up. All right, so just what you just said, how you are paused. I used to work at Washington Hospital Center, man, and I was so overwhelmed with all the stuff I was going on when I first got there. I had a lady that was training me. I remember one day I was like overwhelmed, and she was like, "Sean, I need you to get all your people together and just come to see me, and we're going to talk about your cases." I'm like, man, we don't have time to talk about these cases. Like, I got to get these people out of here. Anyway, so I met with her. It took us about an hour to go through the cases, man. But after that, man, I felt so much better about, how to do it. Like, just organizing my thoughts because a lot of times, again, like, I'm just responding to what's a priority on my brain, and that just ends up looking crazy. But, so yeah, I learned a lot by just taking my time and pausing, like you said. Yeah. My week, it was cool. I had nothing really. It's settled down, man. I done finished with my other little jobs. Now I got 2 jobs. I feel good about that. I still talk to my people from my other job, man. Yeah, because I still have like connections and friendships with them and all that good stuff. So I still talk to them. But the big news, I guess, was the Hayes, man. This dude went to get his 4-month-old shots, man, and he was 20 pounds, 27 inches, man. I looked it up. That's the size of a 9-month-old, man. So they're going to be looking at my kid like he's special. Like, why is he 3 foot tall and can't talk? He's 1. That's why he can't talk.
You're going to hear it
come on, man.
In the 2039 draft,
Right.
the number 1 pick.
Yeah, man. He a big little fella, man. But he's cool.
what's up.
His mama stuck me to babysit with him all day. I was stuck
Now you gotta
babysitting the kid. Got me stuck with the kid. So yeah, cause like let me tell you how she hit me, man. She hit me like, I gotta run some errands today. I was like, okay, cool. Are you going to Target? I don't know. Wait, you don't know where you're gonna run your errands? Just say you want to get out the house.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to think you run the errands.
Boss is the same way. She always say, "Can you watch Langston?" I'm like, I don't watch Langston. I care for Langston.
Man,
Now, let me tell y'all
What
what
she
happened to me
clothes?
today, right? So, yesterday, I'm like, all right, so Morgan had a party.
right.
So, that was like 2:30. Had to get her there all the way out in Arundel Mills.
Today, right?
Jesus.
This was today.
Yeah.
So,
That's Baltimore.
Yes.
yeah, it was
That's
a
where
good.
the Ravens practice.
45
And right now, like the Baltimore
Did you
Washington
see Omar?
Expressway is crazy. So it took longer than
Because
it
of the
usually
potholes.
do because of the potholes and
Yes.
all that, right? So yesterday I say, all right, so one got to go, so I got to what time? And she does her therapy today. So she's like, oh, I was going to go get my hair and my eyebrow.
When?
I said, well, when are you going to tell
Thank
me?
you. That's my whole.
Because I thought to myself, all right, so we both been working all week. So that means if I'm up, and when you're up with the kids, like I'm up at 6:30 on a Saturday. So if you don't get back until 6 o'clock.
That's going to change my day.
And then now Sunday, tomorrow, I'm working tomorrow. So I'm just like, come on now. You know, you can't do that. So she didn't do it. She came home, was able to get, Morgan. She took the babies to IKEA.
Okay.
So it wound up working out. But it was just funny. If I didn't ask, I would have got the call like 11. I'd have been like, oh, where you at? Oh, I'm at the hair salon.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you.
I thought I had mentioned it, but anyway, you're going to love my hair when I get home.
Right. Right. That's what I did. I would have forgot. I'd have been mad right there. Then when she got, I'd have forgotten.
Yeah.
Like that would have been that. But I was glad I asked. So now I know. Friday, I need to be like, all right, what's the plan for tomorrow?
That's all. Just tell me.
You know what I mean?
I've been begging for a schedule. She's like, I just work around your schedule, which ain't fair because anytime I feel like, all right, I'm tired, then I feel like I feel guilty, man. But anyway. Enough about me.
Anyway, that was our week. Won't you tell us how your week was? You can always hit us up on our social media platforms. Once again, that's on Facebook.
Did you tell us about your week, man?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
That's when you was in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, my bad. I did.
It's all right. As I was saying, you can hit us up on our social media platforms to let us know how your week was. Facebook at Horsemouth, on Instagram and Twitter at SFTHM Podcast. That's SFTHM Podcast. You can also send us an email, if that's your thing, at sfthmpodcast@gmail.com. That's sfthmpodcast@gmail.com. Well, fellas, we want to start off we want to leave you with some positive affirmation, and this comes or some positive words to close the show. This come from Nelson Mandela, and he says, if you want the cooperation of humans around you, you must make them feel that they are important.
Yes.
And you do that by being genuine and humble.
Yes.
And we're going to let that close us out for I like how P like yes.
Yes.
We saying some deep shit.
Like Wakanda voice.
Yes. For Sean P. Yes. For Lee. Yes. I'm Black. Peace.
Yes.
The views on Straight from the Horse's Mouth podcast do not represent any of our advertisers unless they like it.
You still up all night, running this marathon. Look, now I can't promise commitment, but I swear we'll have fun. If you ask, I'll be honest, girl, you not the only one. Just a man on a mission, with my hand on my gun. Couple niggas that hate me, but way more people show love. Niggas trying too hard, they dying to ball. They turn around and hate on me like it's a crime to evolve. Too afraid to be different, too ashamed to just listen. See, I'm way too 100, so now they hate on my niggas. Tried to hate on my crippin', tried to hate on my business. Not to call you a bitch, they gon' hate on my business. So if you fucking with Nip, let you know my intentions. Got to think like a rider, you got to know your position. So if it's cool, then we can hop in my Mercedes coupe. Pop the cork off the Superior Wolf. Crank the music, blowing circles out the roof, and just enjoy the view. She said, if you are mine. I said, if you are mine. I'll wait and I'll move. Not breathe your air. Let me hear something with you, though, ma. Matter of fact. Hey, I'm not tripping, back and forth with your nigga. Scared to lose what you got as you looking for something different. Me, fly crippin', international trippin'. I got my numbers up and now they pay for my statistics. Yeah, young nigga, started off with a vision. Built the shit up from nothing to the critics, I ain't listen. Now, transition, so check out how I'm living. We V12 pushers and they transmissions is slipping. Nigga, get your bitch, cause I be bitch getting. Treat her like she wanna be treated, but I ain't tricking. Beat it like she wanna shit beat it, but I don't kiss it. Just blame it on that shit that we smoking, plus we sipping. Look, double cups, she tryna double up. Cause I just hit it once, but she caught a double nut. Nasty, since she used to double dutch. Too quick to fall in love, what the fuck? She said,
If you were mine, if you were mine, I'll wait and I'll move. I'll breathe your air.
look, now, if I was yours and you was mine, would you do me like you do him and have someone on the side? So, keep your nigga while I stay on my grind. Just hit me up and we gon' spend some time. Look, if I was yours and you was mine, would you do me like you do him and have someone on the side? So, keep your nigga and I stay on my grind. Just hit me up and we gon' spend some time. Right?
If you